Morning, YouTubers. John Gilkison, AeroStealth here. It is Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, and we're doing a quick video today on the installation of an electric dryer, which sounds kind of mundane, but it's not in our circumstances. So we'll cut right to it here. I tried shooting the video before, but when I took the camera outside, it just whited out. I'm not sure why that is, and right now I don't want to get into exploring settings or anything to find out about it because it's working fine indoors. So here we are. This is the electric dryer we're talking about. It's in our garage, and it's plumbed up. It's on a 450 outlet, and you might just barely be able to see it back there. It's got a dryer vent and a very short, flexible dryer vent tube so that the machine can move around a little bit. Let me see if I can get this camera set up so I can talk without holding it. Here we are. So the story behind all this is a couple years ago, our children stored the dryer in our garage, and a year or so went by, and finally their circumstances changed, and they decided they just no longer needed a dryer. I guess they probably already sold their wash machine, so we bought the dryer from them, and then it sat here for at least another year or so. And we finally decided to try to set it up, and when I plugged it in, it wouldn't work. And long story short here, it turned out that the outlet, the 450 outlet, was originally set up by an electrician, but at that time my electric vehicle charging system didn't have a plug that had a neutral. It was just a 3-prong plug. So he set it all up for that, and he tied the neutrals together and wire netted them, and it goes up to a 120 volt outlet above it. And so everything worked. EVSEs don't need 120 volts to operate. But as soon as I plug this dryer on, of course it does. The only thing in the dryer that operates off of 240 volts is the heating element. So it just wouldn't work, and I took it in to be repaired, and they said, oh, we replaced this and that, and I got it back home, plugged it in, still didn't work. Then I said, you know what the hell, I got a 450 outlet out there for the travel trailer. So I carted the thing out there and plugged it in. Sure enough, it worked. And I said, aha. So we opened up the outlet, and I found those neutrals wire netted together, and I plugged them back into the outlet and wanged everything down, put it back, and sure enough, it worked fine. So it's just a strange quirk of 240 volts, this thing about neutrals and not having to have neutrals in some circumstances to operate. So anyway, that is, you don't need a neutral if you're just pure 240 volts and you don't have, your appliance doesn't have any need for 120 volts. Anyway, long story short, of course, we got the dryer running. Then I built a platform for it. It sits on a pallet with a 3/4 inch plywood on decking on it, and it's all leveled out. And so here we are. So, but why do we want to do this? Well, the last appliance in our house using propane turned out to be our dryer in the bathroom. And we do have a gas furnace, but we rarely use it. We only use it to bump up the heat in the house if it's a really cold morning in the winter and our pellet stove isn't keeping up. And, the sun's already up, so you just need to bump up the heat a little bit, and boom, it goes off, and you shut it off, and you're done with it. And it's a good thing to do that because you want to keep it working. You don't want to leave it just sit there and build up cobwebs over years. Then it won't work at all. So, anyway, we're trying to get off of propane for, number one, we're trying to electrify everything because we have 10 kilowatts of solar power. And we also have this off-peak rate between the hours of midnight and 8 a.m. of less than 5 cents a kilowatt hour. And we can do anything during that time period. It uses electricity at that rate. And that not only includes charging our cars, of course, which is why we have the rate, but running an electric clothes dryer. But here's the kicker. If we ran the electric clothes dryer during the day when we're producing the solar power, like today, we're producing several kilowatts of power. The cost to run the dryer is almost nil. But if you paid for the electricity, at night, at off-peak rate, it would cost 34 cents to dry a load of clothes, and during the day it would cost 84 cents if I paid for the electricity, which I don't. So there you have it, and then of course there's a reduction in carbon emissions. There's also a backup dryer in case anything happens to the other dryer or either of our dryers. We'll continue to use the dryer indoors occasionally. Let's say it's a rainy day and we don't want to cart clothes out in a rainstorm to the garage. We'll just go ahead and use the dryer indoors. So then there you have it. So anyway, it was a bit tricky. I have a 500-gallon tank, holds 400 gallons of propane. And one of the things I want to do is get rid of that tank and buy my own tank. And it can be a much smaller tank. I would like to get a 125-gallon tank, which will hold 100 gallons, and that's it. And I'd like to own the tank so I don't have to pay tank rental. Right now I'm paying $37.50 every 4 months, which isn't much, but it is a cost. And if I own my own tank, I can get rid of that. And I'm just not going through much propane. I'm lucky to take a delivery every year now of 100 gallons, if that. I'm not even going to do that. Once I get the other tank, probably last me for more than a year, a couple years, or whatever. So we'll see. I need to find the right tank, and I just haven't come across it yet. So there you have it. That's our latest lowering our carbon emissions project, and it's I don't have an exact number for you, but we're somewhere between 70 and 80% reduction in carbon emissions. The biggest carbon emitter that we have is, of course, this pickup truck. It's not in the cards to get rid of it yet. So, but someday that's going to happen too. So, see you on down the road, everybody. Take care.